What's going on? It's your boy June Archer here. This is 50.com, the Winner Circle, here with the lovely activist, CNN contributor, and host, Miss Angela Rye. How you doing, Miss Angela?
Thank you. I'm good. How are you?
I'm excellent. I woke up this morning, so no complaints.
Great.
No complaints. I want to ask you, in your opinion, who can we lean on to beat Donald Trump?
I think that there will be a very crowded Democratic field in 2020. Right now, I think we need to keep our attention focused on the November 6, 2018 election, which is going to be more issues-based for us. We have some opportunities to make some historic strides. There have only been 4 black governors in the history of the United States, and we have the opportunity to get 2, maybe 3. And so I think we really should keep focused on that. Andrew Gillum is running for governor in Florida. Stacey Abrams, of course, is running for governor in Georgia, and Ben Jealous is running for governor of Maryland. So we have the opportunity to change the tides of history, have 3 in 1 year. And by the way, the 4 that I mentioned, 2 of them were appointed. Only
Right.
2 were elected.
Which is amazing. Now
It's unfortunate. We need to.
It is
we need to
unfortunate.
change that.
I think we will. Moving towards the midterms, as you were just speaking about, how can we meet people where they are? And I'm talking about our young people. How do we meet them where they are to get them excited about the midterms as well as voting in the near future?
I think the most important thing we can do is level with people about the fact that voting isn't necessarily fun, but neither is checking to see how much money you have in the bank.
Right.
Right? Going grocery shopping isn't necessarily fun unless you're like me and like to be like, what's new in here, you know? But it's not necessarily fun, but it's a necessity if you want to eat. And so we have to stop looking at voting like it's optional. We need to look at it like it's a requirement based on everything our ancestors have done and based on being a responsible citizen. No other citizen treats voting like it's optional.
Right.
There's a select few, and we should stop.
No, we definitely should stop. For you, how do we excite young people, especially young women of color like yourself, to get actively participating in politics, in the conversation like you are, Kamala is, Stacey is? How do we get young women of color to get off of Love and Hip Hop? I mean, we have people that we know on these platforms, but how important is it for you to get these young women of color excited?
I think it always is very, very important to have someone you can mirror yourself with. So every young woman is not watching Love and Hip Hop, right? Every young woman doesn't like going shopping or going to get their nails done. There are different types. There are diverse types. And I think the main thing is finding someone who you align your values with, finding someone who speaks like you and thinks
Right.
like you. And once you can mirror yourself, being excited or at least passionate about politics isn't hard. Every time Congresswoman Waters opens her mouth, I feel like she's speaking for me. Every time Kamala Harris is saying something, I feel like I relate to that. I feel like these are people who I admire, respect, and want to do anything to help and support. So there are things that they push in the political process that I'm going to get behind. So I think that's a part of it.
No, I love that answer. America is a world stage, as we've come to find out. 2019, it seems we're going to be celebrating 400 years of coming to this country as slaves. How do you think America should celebrate this?
I don't think there's a celebration. I think that what we should do is recognize how far we've come, but how far we've yet to go. And I think part of that means this country stopping its oppressive practices of making voting more difficult for people of color. I think part of it is acknowledging that we've never been properly compensated for the work that we did for free, whether we're talking about building the United States Capitol or helping to build banks like Chase Bank. There's documented history that demonstrates that they have directly benefited from slave labor, and that needs to be acknowledged, not just apologized for, but we need to be compensated for it.
So who are some of your heroes up to
I
this
just
point in
named
life?
some. So Kamala Harris,
Yep.
Maxine Waters, my mother, Dr. Andrea Rye, my dad, Eddie Rye Jr. I have a ton, and I'm grateful for that. I know that's a position of privilege that I hold, and I couldn't be more thrilled to have such an amazing village.
Angela, we appreciate you. We
Thank
love
you.
what you're doing. Keep doing what you're
Thank you
doing.
so much.
This is June Archer, Angela Rye. This is 50.com, The Winner Circle.